Hey, everybody, welcome to HockeySkatedown. Before we get into the video, I just want to say thank you to all my subscribers. If you want to join our hockey team, it's free. Click subscribe, hit the notification bell to all. Thank you all so much, and let's get started. So I want to do a video on Damon Severson. What happens to him this year? You know, with the Devils vastly improving their defense, whether it's through trade, through signing a free agent, or drafting, the Devils are really upgraded defense for now and in the near future. So what happens with Damon Severson? Does he resign? Is he moved leading into this year, or is he moved leading into the trade deadline this year? I want to do a video on this to focus on what our core of defense and what happens with Severson in the near future. So please stay with me throughout. So Damon Severson is 28 years old. He's 6'2", 205 pounds. He's a right shot defenseman, currently on a $4.16 million AAV contract that expires at the end of the 22-23 season. Looking at the way our defense is really shaping up for the near future. So these numbers are per cap friendly. We have Ryan Graves, who is on an expiring contract after this year. You have John Marino, who has 5 years left on his deal. Brendan Smith was signed for a 2-year deal. Simon Nemec is in on a 3-year entry-level contract as he signed this past year after he was drafted second overall. You have Luke Hughes entering the system, not this year, next year. You have Dougie Hamilton and Jonas Siegenthaler, who was re-signed to a 5-year contract, extended, and he has 6 years left. He was signed to a 5-year extension worth $3.4 million AAV, which was a brilliant move by Tom Fitzgerald, locking up our best defensive defenseman. And looking at Severson, what happens with him? You know, as you have Simon Nemec, who was drafted second overall, if he has a strong camp, it's going to lead to a lot of speculation as to what happens with Severson going forward. On that right side, you'll have Hamilton, you'll have John Marino, and you'll have Simon Nemec. So you have your three locked in if Nemec looks strong. And it's going to lead a lot of people to believe that Damon Severson may find his way off the team sooner rather than later. Will it happen leading into the season? Will it happen closer to the trade deadline, which is what I expect. I expect Nemec to play in Utica to start the year, get accustomed to the North American system, learn there, and then come up later after the trade deadline. That's what I think will happen, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Friedman tweeted out, this was this past March. This was before the draft happened. He said he heard Severson wants to stay and is willing to resign. I've seen Damon Severson being asked that question during the year as well as they were talking about his contract. And, he said the same thing. He wants to stay. He wants to help the team win. He felt that all those bad years in the past are exactly that in the past. And he wants to help this team win going forward. So I think he wants to be here. But the way our core is really shaping up, it's going to lead us to possibly trade him sooner rather than later. So Fitzgerald said in an interview, this was a couple of months ago, he says that Damon has a lot of value to us. He's a very good player. He's a right shot defenseman, and those don't grow on trees. I don't know what he's going to want on his next contract. We have his services for another year at least. And he says, I can tell you, moving him, it would have to be a really good package that helps us for now and in the future, but I haven't talked to anybody about him. So looking at Severson's numbers, you always want to possibly move a player when he's had his best show, and it was this past year that Damon Severson had his best year. In 2021, 2022, he played in 80 games, 11 goals, 35 assists for 46 points. In 2020, 2021, he played in 56 games, 3 goals, 18 assists, 21 points. And in 2019, 2020, he played in 69 games, 8 goals, 23 assists for 31 points. So for his career, he's played in 566 games, 51 goals, 179 assists for 230 points. In the playoffs, not really played much. 4 games, 0 goals, 0 assists, 0 points. Looking at his stats overall, he's hit the 20-point mark 7 times in his career. He's hit the 30-point mark 4 times in his career and the 40-point mark once this past season. So, I feel like on a different team, he'd be a much better player. With an offense, more of an offensive team. I don't know what Damon Severson would provide, but I like him as a player, but his defensive side of the game causes a lot of goals against, and that hurts us. So, with Nemec coming in, being an offensive player, being a two-way player as well, and concentrating on his defense as well, it may cause us to possibly trade Damon Severson. And, I think it's going to be a good package coming back to the Devils. if the Devils can retain some of his salary, it can be a better pick, a better prospect. But I think the Devils will want players for now. So I could see it possibly being a 1-for-1 where, it's a player that helps us for the now instead of, another player you have to groom to see where they can be in a couple of years. But we'll have to wait and see. Severson says he wants to re-sign with the Devils. He wants to go towards that winning atmosphere with the team. But, with the numbers game, the way it's shaping up, the Devils have a lot of players in their pipeline, especially Reilly Walsh, Kevin Bahl, Nikita Okhotiuk, Shakir Mukhammadullin, just a couple to name that are really close to cracking the roster. And I really feel like we'll take that Smith position once his contract expires with us as well. So the Devils are really strong at defense for now and the near future. A lot of good prospects coming in, drafting a lot of great prospects as well, which I'll do future videos on. But I like the way the Devils are going with their defense. What happened in those years when the Devils were very successful? We had a strong defense that was able to clamp down and play a good game. Whether it was offense or defense, the team knew how to play defensively, and that helped us win. Defense wins championships, and I really like the way the Devils are striding in that way. So comment below what you think about this. Do you think Damon Severson will be moved leading into the year or more so leading into the trade deadline? Or do you want the Devils to re-sign him? Do you like the way he's been playing and really growing the past couple of years to want to keep him? Comment below and let me know. And thank you for watching. I really appreciate your time. Smash that like button if you haven't done so and subscribe to Hockey Skate Down. It's free and join our hockey team. Thank you all so much. Have a great rest of the day. Have a great night. Take it easy. Stay safe.